Hey, what's up guys, this is Darth Nine, and you're watching my Modern Warfare 3 free-for-all on Bootleg. Got this game last night. I'm using the MSR, and my secondary is the single Magnum. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to pick the ideal sensitivity for you that will actually work with your playstyle and hopefully help you do better and make it easier for you to get higher scores and all that. Sensitivity is something that's pretty important, and a lot of people have been sending me messages asking me what sensitivity I use or what the best sensitivity is. And when people ask me stuff like that, I usually have a lot to say because it's actually kind of complicated, and there's a few different things that need to be considered when you're choosing your sensitivity, and it's hard to just give like just a number that they should set as their sensitivity because it really depends on the player. So I thought I'd make a video that I could go a bit more in depth in and explain to you guys the things that need to be considered when you're picking your sensitivity, so hopefully you can benefit from the sensitivity that you choose. So the first thing that I want you guys to consider when you're choosing your sensitivity is how long is the range of your average engagement. So personally, I like to keep my enemies at a medium to short range. I find it's most entertaining that way, and since the sniper rifle is such a dynamic weapon in Call of Duty, I'm able to actually use it as a very medium to short range weapon if I'd like to. And that being said, the sniper rifle can also be used as a really long range weapon. And if you're the kind of sniper that actually likes to use the sniper rifle as a long range weapon, you're probably going to want to run a lower sensitivity because when you're taking the long range shots, it's going to be kind of hard if you're running a 10 sensitivity to actually hard scope the guy, because it'll take a lot longer to line him up when it's so sensitive. So me personally, I actually run a 9 sensitivity because of the range. Mostly it's because of the range that I like to keep my enemies at, and it really helps when you're trying to quickscope or take enemies out at a close range. It also helps you be more alert in a close quarter setting because you can react faster. You're able to check corners faster, and if somebody pops out of the side of your screen, then you can most likely react in time to take them out. And now, if you're going to be using assault rifles, the assault rifles excel at medium to long ranges. So I'm not suggesting that you change your sensitivity based on what weapons you use. I suggest that you pick one sensitivity and stick with it. If you're switching your sensitivity every couple of days, it's probably not a good idea, and you're probably not going to benefit from that at all, because your brain's going to have to keep on getting used to how much thumb movement correlates with how much movement on the screen. And I think if you're surprised or not expecting the screen to move that much or that little, there's no way you can benefit from that. So try and decide what weapon you use the most, and make sure you pick a sensitivity that will work with the strengths of the weapon. So like I said, assault rifles are a weapon that excels at medium to long ranges. So at medium to long ranges, you're probably going to want medium to low sensitivity. As with sniper rifles, they're kind of dynamic, so you can kind of choose the way you want to use your sniper rifle and base your sensitivity off that. Now, with shotguns and SMGs, since they excel at short range, or, well, I guess SMGs nowadays can kind of do okay at medium range combat, like the MP7. But for the most part, let's just say that they're short range, and you'd most likely benefit from a higher sensitivity because it'll help you react faster in close quarters combat. Now, I know if any of you guys are competitive players, you probably won't agree with what I'm saying, and the reason for that is because competitive Call of Duty is a lot different than just public matches, because in competitive Call of Duty, it's a lot more organized. You kind of keep tabs on where your enemies are so that you're not usually surprised when you see an enemy. Your teammates kind of help keep the rest of the team aware of where your enemies are. So you're not likely going to get random deaths from behind like you would in a public free-for-all. So in public free-for-alls, it really helps to have a higher sensitivity, because when your enemies are spawning all around you and you have no heads up, unless you have like a UAV or something, but then again, a lot of people use assassins, so there's really no way of always knowing if there's someone behind you. Now, there is some complications about sensitivity that may not make sense initially, but if you think about it, it kind of will start to make sense. So I'm sure you guys are all aware that a lot of the bigger commentators on YouTube may be using a pretty low sensitivity, even though they're playing quite aggressively. And how this works is, over time, you develop a great sense of anticipation of what your enemies are going to do. And if you can predict exactly where your enemies are going to be, where you need to be looking at all times as you move throughout the map, sensitivity isn't going to be as important, and you're going to be able to use a lower sensitivity to your advantage as having a steadier shot. So depending on what weapon you're using, you can actually be quite successful on a really low sensitivity, even if you're playing by yourself in pubs. So it does come down to a bit of experimentation to find the sensitivity that you're going to use. But anyways, I hope I gave you some good advice that you guys will appreciate. And if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.